start off with more of a dynamic combo. We're going to go L-sit to planche and slowly open out to harder progressions, but more thinking about repetitions. And I'm going to superset that with an inverted deadlift. So that's stage one, and then stage two, we're going to go into static positions where we're just going to do planche holds and front lever holds. So I'm going to start off with 3 repetitions of the L-sit to planche with a 3 to 5 second hold in each position. And that 3 to 5 second hold is going to dictate the position. So if I'm not so strong with this, or I need to warm up a little bit more, I'm going to go into easier positions. So like a tuck could be here for 3 to 5 seconds. The planche could be a tight tuck position like this. Or if you're a little bit more progressed, a little bit more warmed up, you might open out into slightly harder positions. So I can hold in the straight position for that 3 to 5 seconds in the L-sit, and I'm going to go to more of an open tuck position. But let's see how the 3 reps look. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And do that 3 times. Now we have a few options when it comes to the inverted deadlift. If you don't have a rack or a high pull-up bar, you can do something like this on a lower level. The lower level is also good if you're newer to the movement, because you can work from like a semi position. So in terms of I'm not in a full hang, I'm just in this position. The idea is I'm going to try and slide my legs up the bar into an open hip position and then come back down again and do that for repetitions. So again, see if we can get 3, maybe 5 reps with this one, because the range of motion isn't so big. So 3 to 5 reps with a 1 to 2 second hold at the top. Just because the time under tension is a little bit more on that one, we don't necessarily need to do such a hold at the top position, meaning it's a slower movement. Also, the planche could be done between 2 boxes. It doesn't necessarily have to be done on the P-bars. I would definitely use an elevated surface though for the L-sit to planche. Most people are going to struggle or use up a lot of energy to try and get through on the floor. So having that clearance is good, but same idea. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 for reps. Now, I'm not recommending that you do this, but I'm just showing that you can get a little bit more creative when you're trying to sort out a higher bar. So something like this will work. You just need to make sure that things aren't going to slip about and that you're not being dynamic in any way. You want to make it as slow and controlled as possible. So now I can go all the way to there and open all the way to there for 3 to 5 reps. And then next set, we're going to go somewhere in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a little bit harder. I'm going to do less repetitions. I'm going to still be dynamic, but I'm only going to hold twice. So I'm going to do 2 reps. Again, 3 to 5 second holds. But that does mean that I can open out into slightly harder progressions of the static positions. So more importantly, the planche, and then I'll talk about the front lever in a second. Now obviously when you do that one, your second rep, you're going to be more tired, so you might not open out so much into the harder progressions. You might pull it back into something a bit easier. Now I'm going to change the inverted deadlift to more of a front lever pull, so a bigger range of motion where more of the legs are coming down in front and back up again. With the inverted deadlift, the legs stay in that vertical position. So this will carry over a little bit more towards the front lever. So starting in a hang-in position, and then I'm going to come up in a tuck to start with, all the way up, passing through front lever, back down again if it's easy, open up to harder progressions, but again, 3 to 5 repetitions. So 3 rep front lever pull. And now for the planche, I'm going to go 1 rep, still L sit to hold, but aiming for a slightly longer hold. We're going to go 5 to 8 seconds. And then for the front lever, I'm going to go straight into more static holds of around the 5 to 8 second mark. Now, I recommend if you are videoing yourself in a planche or front lever, you have the camera roughly in line with you. Your shoulders and hips are. So I've set the bar up into my preferred position for the front lever. And I prefer this way because I can just step straight into the position. So I'm going to try and get into more of like a semi-false grip position, which makes the front lever a little bit easier. A little cheat there for you. And step in. And this type of setup works well in most commercial gyms as well, because you can do it on a Smith machine, you can do it on a squat rack, and that way you can adjust the height as needed. And obviously you could do the inverted deadlifts on here as well, exactly the same, which gives you the clearance that I didn't have on the high bar. Now I would call this the sweet spot for most people, so I would do 2 to 3 plus working sets of that. I wouldn't count these as working sets, but it's always fun to just max out. So max out is just exactly the same as you'd be doing if you're doing a weighted lift. Say you're maxing out your 1 rep attempt, or your max freestanding hold at the end of a session, just testing where you're at. You could do exactly the same with this, but it is more fun for most people and not necessarily working sets. So for me and my current level of the planche is I'm going to try and attempt a full planche for about 0.0 seconds. About 3 years ago I did get much closer to the full planche, and I want to try and get back into it again now. I have said that a few times and keep dropping off the consistency. Let's see how I go this year, see if I can get a full planche before I turn 50. Nowhere near. Same for the front lever, I'm going to max this out now. Something else I don't train enough. Let's see if I can get 2 or 3 seconds in that full position. Hips started dropping quick. That really does justify where the working sets need to be for me. Attempts at full front lever, attempts at full planche should only be put in the fun section. And for good results, the best way is to hang out more in those working sets and then reward yourself with a little bit of fun. Let me know if you have any questions with this one. Reach out if you're after coaching or need help with your training. I have my app and my website. Links are down in the description. I'll speak to you in the next one.